Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We're headed to our big spring consignment auction here at the fairgrounds. They've got quite a bit of stuff. We just got through here at the Tumbleweed with breakfast. We're going to head over there and give you a little preview. It's 22 degrees outside, so some of the preview might be from the comfort of the vehicle, but we'll go through. There's a ton of really nice woodworking equipment that's come into this auction that we're going to be keeping an eye on, and we'll show it to you. It's super cool stuff, so stick around if you like auctions. All right, we're ready for this cold weather outside here. Let's go take a look. Well, let's start here with some of the smalls up top here. There's some real good, nice gold stuff down in the barn. They're going to keep down there, but there's some small stuff up here too. Got a good variety of stuff this year. It's going to take a while to get through all this. Got a nice big cast iron pot over there, and hay fork for the barn. Little barn quilt there. Some lawn mowers and barbecues. There's a patio here. Looks like it's seen better days. Tires for lawnmower or something. More barbecues, wood stove. Portable welder here. Like a bunch of car wash stuff. Car wash vacuums, be good for putting on the wall of the shop and vacuuming stuff out. They still work. Some wagon wheels over there. Another big furnace over there. A couple forges right here. Rectangular one. The round one's even got the hood. We'll see if they sell that hood separately, because mine doesn't have a hood. But pull behind rototillers, filing cabinets, propane bottles, big drill press. Quite a few different items out here. Always is. Pressure washer. Little post hole auger. Lots of lawnmowers this year. Old Ideal Arc welder. License plates. We may need to look through there and see if we can find the county that I'm missing. And weed eaters. And a couple four-wheelers down here on the end that in various states of disrepair. Here's some pickup box trailers, a couple canoes. Here's a nice little trailer frame somebody's got started. If we didn't have our barbecue already going, this would be a nice little trailer if we actually got our barbecue trailer here at the last auction. But that's a nice little pickup for a project trailer frame there. A lot of people buy these old pickup box trailers because they need a pickup box for their pickup. Their old pickup restorations. Couple barrel fork trailers, old bass boat, fifth wheel camp trailer. Got some utility trailers down here on the end. Nice little box trailer here with a ramp. Be good for like a mowing business or something like that. This looks like to be a panel trailer or something. You've got these big poles on here where you can get at it with a forklift. Some fifth wheel trailers down here. That'd be a decent project trailer. You could probably get pretty cheap because the deck is just toast, but it's got good bones. Fifth wheel cattle trailer. Two fifth wheel flatbeds. Little camp trailer. Got duct tape up on the corners. Probably been leaking like they all do. Nice old hay truck. Nice little tandem bumper pull trailer. Got a Sinclair dinosaur somebody's getting rid of. Here's the lineup of vehicles this year. Got a box truck, another fifth wheel stock trailer, some old pickups, cars. They usually start all these up that run when they sell them. You can go all through them. And once you buy them, you take the key. There's some old windows. Auctions are a good source of building materials if you want to build your buildings on the cheap. Here's the fifth wheel hitch and some truck toolboxes. Wheels, brush guards, or deer guards they call them around here. Lots of deer getting in the middle of the road. You never know what model of vehicle they go on, but anybody with a welder can adapt them. There's an old wooden table with a porcelain top. Pretty cool. Be good for bread making or something. There's one of those sit-down pedal grinders. Pretty sweet. AirPods. Some old Maytag and Speed Queen washers. Lots of chicken feeders and you name it over here. Toolboxes. Little heaters here, like kerosene. Here's be either a giant doghouse or a little calf barn. Aluminum ladders, all kinds of hand tools, concrete boot planter. Milk cans back there. No shortage of hand tools. Some metal wheels for decoration pretty much. Some old boat seats. Nice old scales. Some propane bottles back there in the back. Some people make little barbecues out of those. Here's a spreader. Looks like it would need to be refurbished a bit. Here's another pedal grinder. Some more steel wheels. Elevator buckets. Pet carriers. There's a cream separator bowl back there. People use those for planters. Plastic pallets, those come in handy for storing and moving stuff around your property. I might keep an eye on those. Use one of those for my bee boxes. It'd be good. They hold up a lot better than the wooden ones. Some more windows back there and some wagon wheel rings. Chains always popular. People pay crazy prices for the chains. Swing set. Some old fashioned lights, fixtures. People love buying these industrial light fixtures and repurposing them. Squirrel cage fans. Some good gas cans. Good old ones that you can still use. Metal shelving. Creepers. There's like a garment rack, something you can hang stuff on. Be good for painting small items and hanging them up. Old jerry can. More hand tools. There's a hay rake wheel. Another big old tank. More tanks. I've seen somebody one time took these big tanks, cut the bottoms off of them, and hung them up on a giant pole, made a giant wind chime out of these big things. They're really cool. Really deep sound. Some plastic jugs. Here's a whole pallet of these steel weights. They use those for checking scales back in the day. I use them for holding stuff down in the shop for like when I'm gluing heavy stuff. Cinder blocks and bricks. Galvanized pipe. More brick. Lots of brick. This looks like a feeder hopper. Yep, for cake or something. Here's one of those spray tanks that goes on your four-wheeler or your three-wheeler. Nice old drill. Probably still works. Bale spear. Pull behind sickle blade, sickle mower. Little skid mount pump. The skid steer bale spears, that might be worth it if it goes cheap enough just to have the skid steer mount to make something else out of. Little backpack 3-point sprayer. Doesn't look like a PTO drive pump. Let me check back here. Looks like you'd put an electric pump on that because I don't see a PTO drive. Old snowmobile. Sprinkler connectors for big sprinkler irrigation pipe. I don't know what that is. Some kind of machinery stand. Some elevator, or not elevator, but bin blowers. This appears to be an Alice Chalmers tractor in pieces. So somebody that knows a little something about Alice Chalmers, looks like all the pieces are there. Somebody probably pulled apart for restoration and didn't finish. It's like some truck bed panels or sides. Whole bunch of tires and wheels. Metal tin for siding or roofing is always popular. This stuff appears to be used, but you can still use it, like the guinea coop that we built. Those little holes don't matter. There's plenty of it here. Some electric fence stakes and some T-posts. Lots of fence and wire, wooden posts down the way down there. All the ground is frozen right now, but when it thaws out, this is going to be a muddy mess out here. Should have worn my muck boots, but right now it's good and hard. Here's some big equipment tires. A lot of people use these for feed bunks for the animals. Got a little 3-point post hole digger. Some wheel spacers. This appears to be a big bale fork. Little dozer frame. Don't know what tractor this comes off of. This is a harrow for taking out in the field and tearing up all the cow pies after the cows run through an area, either corn stalks or pasture or something. You run that through the field to tear up all the manure piles. Here's a nice little drag scraper earth mover. Little small one. Big box scraper. Some more elevator buckets. Fuel tanks. Here's a 3-point blade. Little pull behind sprayer with a spray boom on the back. Another bale spear. Brush hog. Looks like John Deere model or something. Nice John Deere manure spreader. This thing's in great shape. Got like a new floor in it. This thing would still work great. Cool little flare box. Another smaller, like 5-foot brush hog. Here's a spring tooth kind of ripper thing. Here's a hydraulic ram log splitter that you could mount on something to use with the tractor. Here's a cultipacker. It's got spring teeth that rotate up, and then the packer wheels for breaking up the clods. Cement mixer. Some assorted tractor weights and sweeps. Another big box scraper there. Another David Bradley flare box wagon. A disc. Big bucket or front loader bucket off of something. Work table. Some old, looks like Ford fenders, Ford tractor fenders. Little small bin auger. pull behind swather. A couple picnic tables and windows. Another bale spear trailer. This is a disc. A little pull behind angle disc. And this is a big like cake feeder that, or a even a bin you could put somewhere. It's got an auger out the bottom. Stand by for the train. Here's the bale buster. Throw the round bales in there. Picks the round bale up even off the ground, throws it in the hopper, breaks it up for your cows. More backpack sprayers. Bale claw. Portable propane tank. Here's a skid steer blade, like a snow pushing blade. A little trailer. Some truck tires and wheels. Another little old angle blade. Big heavy monster. This looks like old cultivator parts. This is a walk-in cooler or freezer. Looks like all the parts are here, all the walls. Pretty neat. I wanted one of these to put in my barn for meat processing. We'll see what this goes for, because it looks small enough to go in the corner of the barn, and it'd be good if I wanted to process meat like in the summer. Old lawnmower. Here's a 3-point harrow. Another little forklift bale spear looking thing here. I don't know what this trailer's for. It's perfectly built for something. Another little flare box wagon. Look at this cute little buckboard wagon here. Needs a little work, but cute anyway. Another angle blade, box scraper. I don't know what kind of connection that box breaker has, or box scraper has. Oh, it's got a little skid steer set up on it. You could use that for kind of a back drag scraper or something. But little 3-point skid steer mount. Little flatbed trailer. Cultivator with some sweeps. Another pull behind spray tank with boom. It's like a Hiller attachment here. Fuel tank. Another sprayer. Nice old dump rake, old hay rake, or trip rake, whatever you want to call it. People like buying these and making things out of them, like pork swings and stuff like that. Old camper shell. Got some old tractors in line down here. This is an old Oliver with a big hay rake on it. It's like a John Deere 70 with a big hay moving unit on it here. Cute little ditch witch. The power unit, newer power unit for like a pivot running a pump. Look at this little Case 310 crawler. That's neat. If it had a blade on it, I would love to have a little crawler. Little farm all with a belly mower. I don't know if this is maybe a C model farm all. I'm not sure. Y'all can tell me in the comments. All the emblems or stickers are all painted over. Here's a big John Deere cab tractor, newer model. Farmall M, one of my favorites. Got another big hay mover conglomeration on it here. Alice Chalmers. Got the snow chains on the tires. John Deere. Bigger John Deere. Lots of hay moving equipment in this country. This skid steer here is for loading people out. It's not for sale. Alright, that's all the big stuff up here. Let's go down and look at the smalls in the barn. That's where the real gold is for me. Got all the smallest trailers down here, and there was a chance of rain today, so usually they bring all this up to the auction site up top. but I think they've got it set up. They got a bunch of tables down here. I think they're going to leave it all down here and have the smalls auction down here. So here's our first trailer. Got a big hunk of railroad iron, various toolboxes. Most of them have stuff in them, but somebody's collection of tools here. Got some signage. Got a nice old come along over there and some other items, but lots of toolboxes, some cast iron tractor seats. Look at this old shop smith here. Those were the thing back in the day. Got a router down here. We're gonna have to open some of these boxes before we get going today. Here's some Craig jig stuff. Here's a dovetail fixture here. Oh, look at this nice machinist vise. We'll definitely look at that for our drill press because it's much better than the one I have. But lots of woodworking tools here today. Here's another pocket hole jig like we were using the other day. I don't need one of those, but this is a nicer one than I have. Some exotic woods. Be good for making like knife handles and stuff. There's some glass pieces over here. Some wine stoppers. Here's a table saw. Here's a polishing wheel with a nice grinding stone there. Belt sander. Now here's something I'm really interested in right here. This is a dedicated mortising machine, and I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I have a tenon jig for my table saw, but I don't have the mortising machine, and these make mortises a snap, and it looks like it's got the different size mortising bits that go in it. So if nothing fails, this is going to go home with me today. I'm hoping people really don't have a use for it, or maybe don't even know what it's for, but hopefully we get that one today. Used to have one of these old workbenches, the clamp workbenches. Nice bench grinder, fairly new. Here's a drum sanding unit, belt fed drum sanding unit. Very nice drill press. A big bandsaw. I would love to have this wood bandsaw. It's far and away better than the one I have. It's even got a resaw fence on it. This appears to be a shaper table. Old radio. Lots of cool woodworking equipment here today. Some more exotic woods down here. Lots of hand tools. Old egg crate. Nice old shop vac. Those are handy. Roller table. We might keep an eye on that for our new saw that we got. We'll show you in another video. More of those workmate clamping tables. Brand new boat seats. Still in the bag. Look at all these clamps. Wow. We'll keep an eye on those. Look at these. Nice little brand name clamps. Sweet. Saw blades, little detail sanders, all kinds of DeWalt power tools, straight edge clamps, lots of gluing clamps, a big roll of Romex. Keep an eye on that. Never have too much Romex. There's a plunge router. These kits here for turning ink pens, ink pen kits. For if you've got a little lathe, you can make your own ink pens. Really cool. Little chain hoist. Lots of jig, Forstner bits. So much stuff in boxes. Got air hose reel. These are probably router bits and stuff like that. Yep. Boxes and boxes and boxes of router bits. Here's the tenoning jig I was telling you about. I have one like that. Porter cable plate joiner, biscuit joiner. Little jet lathe there for turning small stuff like those ink pens we were talking about. Nice air compressor. Dust collection system. Beautiful table saw. Craftsman. Got the good heavy fence that you don't have to monkey with when you're setting it. You can pretty much just set it down here and you're good to go. We'll see what that goes for, because it's a better table saw than what I have, but probably not in my budget. Nice little crosscut saw, little miter saw. Bigger lathe. Wood planer, always handy making new wood out of old wood. Oscillating sander. Saber saw. Bigger belt sander with a stand. These straight edge guides are really handy. These are really good clamps. They stay nice and square. Joiner. It's got the cool woodworking stuff. Somebody had a beautiful shop. Here's a whole box of chisels for turning on the lathe. Older drill press. Shop vacs. Chain is real popular. People pay big bucks for chain. It's amazing what chain goes for. Small stop signs. Another planer. Finch chargers. Hand tools. Staplers and nailers. Even got the nails to go with it. Work lights. This appears to be a little compressor. Speedy compressor. Some old mirrors for your truck. Little flux core wire feed welder. Some farmer will buy that. Stand lights. Big shop vac. Old mirror. There's lots of tack over here. Lots of bits. Horse bits. Horseshoeing stuff. Saddles. Anybody that knows anything about leather can get those saddles right back into shape. Traps. Some more Romex over here. Some stove parts. Toolboxes, probably full of stuff. Yep. You got to go through all those toolboxes and see what kind of cool stuff they have in them. Grinders. Old corn sheller with a broken handle. But these are nice to have so you don't have to keep changing your flapper discs and grinding wheels and wire wheels. You have one dedicated for each project. Nice little bench grinder. Some visors for a pickup. Some tools. Lots of cool stuff down here today. More finch chargers, horse blankets. More toolboxes to go through. Lots of loose tools. Got an extension set there. End wrenches. More finch chargers. Got a garage door over there. We'll have to check the size of that. We're looking at changing doors on the shop. It's a nice pry bar. Old tombstone welder. Saddles. Got the little backpack cargo carrier for going in your receiver hitch. Air compressors. These are nice shop heaters. Whole table full of old spring traps and anchors. All different types of traps. Leg traps. Somebody was quite the trapper back in the day. Some more sorted tools. Got a two-sided hog scraper. That's neat. Got a little one and a big one. That would be neat to have, even though we don't scald hogs anymore. Little milk house heater. Got some more exotic wood cabinet grade stuff. Lots of it. Lots of small pieces of wood. You've got a wood shop. None of that is scrap. Got some other stuff down here. Some airless paint sprayers. Look like they're maybe missing a couple parts. Tables, school desk, bench, windmill. Needs a little work. Old patio table set. Old tractor seat. Got some signage over here. Skelly, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure my buddy Dave or Troy out east will know what those are for. Let me know in the comments, guys. These are lightning rods off of houses. These are very popular. Some of them used to be really ornate, like this one had a little weather vane on there. Those usually go for a pretty good price. Got some cattle handling equipment down here. This looks like some permanent stuff that somebody cut out. Little circle area here. Looks like some kind of divider. Here's a lane for working calves. Here's some grain bin panels. Appears to be 3 good ones. I might take a look at these because these make really good roofs if you're building sheds and stuff. Here's some little hog panels. Here's a waterer. Here's some cattle working gates. Some feeders. A little old wagon over there, like a push around wagon. Some more electrical fence. Posts. Here's a couple more feeder stands. Some posts. Some feeder bunks. These mineral feeders are kind of neat. These spin in the wind, so if you've got a storm, the wind will blow on it and blow this downwind, so you're not getting rain inside your mineral. Here's a little calf working chute down here. Some more feed bunks, more panels, barbed wire. These would make nice raised beds, but I think the metal would rust out fairly soon. There's some creep feeders over there. More chutes and cattle working chutes. Different kind of panels. Gates. Fuel tanks. Fuel tank stands. Large animal chute. Here's some portable panels for making portable pens when you're working cattle out near pastures. These panels usually get snatched up by the local farmers. More panels here. Got some gate panels with gates in them, walking through gates. Some of this stuff will just go for scrap, like that there. That's pretty bent up stuff. Heavy, like those would be like permanent stuff you put in. Here's some old metal building. Looks like building purlins. Some other flat steel. There's a cattle guard. You bury that in the ground and you drive over it where you don't have to put a gate in because your cattle won't walk across that if you leave a pit underneath it. But you can drive across it, so you don't have to keep opening gates if you don't know what a cattle guard is. And then your fence would continue on either side, but the cow would be afraid to walk in that and would not cross that. Some people back in the day would just paint lines on a pavement road and the cows wouldn't cross it. This is kind of an old what they call it, like a chariot. This is like a sit down chariot you'd like put behind 2 horses. This is a 1-horse kind of a chariot here somebody made like back in the Roman days. Here's modular horse stall or any kind of animal. These come apart. They're just panels and they have the little hooks that hook them together in the corners. 3-sided with the door front. Might look at this maybe to leave the front panel off and make a compost bunker out of this for putting our compost in. Would work out cool. The big pieces of phone poles, power poles. A lot of people use these for gate posts because you put these in the ground, they don't move around. Well, that's about it for the preview. We're going to go up and get our number, and this auction will kick off about 9 o'clock, and we'll see what we can take home today.
All right, more riders right there, rider bits, excuse me. Okay. Yep, but I'll tell you, I'm just gonna sell both of those to you. Just sell both of those to you. All right, another 20, another 30. I get 20, I get 30, I'm gonna get 20, I'm gonna all the bids, all 30. Now I'm gonna get 30, I'm gonna get 30, I'm 30, I'm gonna get 35, I'm gonna get 35, I'm gonna get 30, I'm gonna get 30, I'm gonna get 5. $30 for 105, $30 for 105.
Smoking deal on router bits. All these quality tools brought a lot of buyers out here. Things are going a little higher than they normally do, but still some smoking deals. Well, the dinosaur sold for $1,200. We're working on some trailers over here now.
Thank you. Super in, that's what we said? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
So is that it like?
Can I go here? What's that? That's okay. Most people don't. I got to give it I got to give it 3,000. I got to 35. Yeah, that is a sweet little tractor right there. And 3,000, now 35. I got to 3,000. Now I got to 35. I got to 3,000. Now I got to 35. I got to 3,000. I got to 35. I got to 3,000. Here I got to 35. I got to 2,000. 22 and a half. I'm 2,000. I got to 2,000. I got to 22. I got to 2,000. I got to 22 and a half. I got to 2,000. I got to 22.50. I'm going to 2,000 here. 22 and a half. I'm going to go to 2,000. I got to 22. I got to 22 and a half. I'm 2,000 big. I got to 22 and a half, guys. We paying here and pay attention here. Look at here. 1,500 of you ain't gonna go no cheaper. 15 of 79, 15, 17, 50. Down 2,000, now 2, down 2, down I got a 2, 2, 25. You get a 25, I got a 27, I got a 25, I got a 27 and a half. I got 25 big, I got a 25, I got $2,600, I got a 25, I got a $2,600. I got 25 here, now 600, I got a easy in, 25, my man's in, 25, I got a 26. I got 5 here, and I got a 25, I got a 25, I got a 25, I got a 2600, I got a 2600, 25, get him at 26, you're looking interested, 25 now 600, 25 and a 6. $2,500 number is. Tell you what, I got 13 and a half here. You just got the trailer paid for. Let's get that trencher bought. 13 and a half, 1375. I got a 13 and a half here, but I got a 13, I got a 13, I got a 13 video, I got a 1375. Oh, she's looking one time. 13 and a half, I got a 13, I got a 1375. No. $1,350 number is. 211.
Well, sun's going down. We got all done at the auction. I was helping out a little bit with the people running the auction, getting things squared away, and then had to do a couple other things in town, but we're headed home now. I used a ton of restraint today, folks. Believe me when I say that, because there was a lot of really cool stuff that I would have loved to have, but I just don't have the room at home in my little shop. But we got some good buys, and we're headed home with them. We'll bust the shop open, get them taken in, and we'll show you what we got. All right, folks, we're back to the Markelly Farm shop here. Let's go through our goodies. So we got a kerosene or diesel shop heater. It's a little dusty, but we'll clean it up. We've already plugged it in, and it does work. So that's cool. Got that for $5. Crazy cheap. Got a chain hoist for my buddy Matt because he didn't want to stick around long enough to take it home. So now it's going to sit here till he comes back or somebody else comes from California. We have a tap and die set that has some little bit bigger taps than what we had. A couple tap handles, some die handles. So cool. And then we have a heavy cord there that you can never have too many of. It's nice to have the heavy ones. And then let's open this up. Got a dial caliper, inside and outside measurement caliper, because we're going to need that for some project coming up because we need to figure out some bushings. And this machine here, the dedicated mortiser, the Jet dedicated mortiser. Been wanting one of these for a long time. Also came with 4 different size bits, and then it already had one in it. So we got quarter, 5/16, 3/8, and half, and then whatever this one is in here. Let me show you the machine that's the companion to this. This little fixture right here is for the table saw. It's a tenoning jig for creating tenons to go in the mortises that new mortise machine will make. Kelly got me that tenoning jig a long time ago, like 5-6 years ago. She got me that. So it's been a long time, and now I have both pieces have come together to make mortise and tenon joints. If you don't know what those are, you'll probably see those in an upcoming video. But just a quick overview, you see this with the drill bit on the inside. It's got chisel points here. This cuts a square hole in wood. Instead of a round hole like a regular drill bit, you run that down to the wood, you have a square hole. And then if you move your wood down, you can create square slots, which is called mortise. So crazy restraint. There was a lot of cool stuff there. I'm going to show you a couple more items that I got very recently. This item right here is a DeWalt cold saw. It looks like a miter saw for cutting wood, but this is actually for metal. You can see the teeth on that thing. This cuts metal, mild steel, and it cuts it a lot faster than our bandsaw over there. So for like angle iron and tubing and stuff like that, we can mow through it really quick. And it's called a cold saw because after you cut, you could grab right where you cut, and it's not hot like an abrasive saw does. Now over here on the bench, we have another old, not too old, but a traveling sprinkler that we're going to rob the wheels off of for our next sewing machine tractor. We'll scrap all the rest of this stuff. So lots of fun projects on the horizon, and we're going to get back on the barbecue soon as well. So stick around. We've got lots of fun stuff to do. Hope you enjoyed the auction today. Always a good time at our local consignment auction, but there's a lot more farm and ranch auctions coming up. So we'll be hitting those as well. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here on the farm. We'll do some cool stuff with you. See ya.